Hello guys, Nigel with you again, Nigel's Modelling Bench with another kit review. I know some of you will be a bit off put by that, but a lot of you will be very excited to see this. This is the brand new, as yet unavailable in the UK. It looks like it's pretty unavailable everywhere. This is the Magic Factory 1/9 Honda CBR1000RR-R, and it's the Fireblade SP. And it's a very interesting model, this, and I've been really looking forward to getting it, and I'm going to start building it straight away because there is no glue needed and everything is pre-painted, apparently. Now, it looks like, from what I've seen, you know, in other bits and pieces, it looks like the main parts of the model are all pre-painted and the rest is just like black or grey plastic or whatever, so you may wish to paint some yourself. But it does look like you can build it out of the box with no paint, no glue, nothing, just build it. So it's brilliant for those guys that aren't necessarily scale modelers, but they may be motorcycle enthusiasts. They may even in fact have one of these and they want it on their display. It'll also sit very nicely with the very pricey Meng BMWs that they've done. They've done about 3 different BMWs, haven't they? And they look like beautiful models. And one of these would sit really nicely with that. So yeah, I'm really lucky. Magic Factory have sent me this, and thank you very much to Annie for sending me this. Unfortunately, she forgot to send it directly to me. She sent it to Gary over at Tiger Hobbies, and Gary has forwarded it on to me, so thank you, Gary. Tiger Hobbies are the importer for this model, so if you want to get yourself one of these, they will soon be available on the Tiger Hobbies website, $89.99, and you will get free delivery because it's over £30. Everything from Tiger Hobbies over £30 is free delivery, mainland UK. Well, it says excluding Channel Islands, so there you go. So there we are, but it's better than that. It gets better than having one of these. I've actually got 2. There's another one here. So this one is the 30th anniversary edition. So you can see it looks like it's exactly the same model, but in white rather than the red. So very, very nice indeed. Pair of beautiful motorcycles there, and very, very lucky to have them. So what I'm going to do, this is the one that I think will be most common. Okay, so this is the one we'll have a look at today. We'll have a look in the box, see what it's all about. I'm have a good look around the box as well. What is nice on here, there's pictures of the actual model by the look of it. It's photographs rather than CAD images, so that's really nice. We've also got some schemes on the side, just a scheme on the side. There's only one scheme. It's all pre-painted for you, so we've got the aquapervic exhaust and everything. So right, let's get into the box and see what's in there. I'm only going to review one because, as I say, what I might do is show you. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll look at this one and we'll look at that one, and you can just see the difference in the schemes. But we don't need to review both kits because they're both the same. Kit numbers are 1402 and 1401. So if you want to go look for those on Tiger Hobbies, you can. And then there's a place there where you can actually put your email address in, and you will be notified when they actually get stock. It says expected May, but I know they've obviously had some tweaking to do with it, because I know it was expected a long time ago, and it's been delayed. And I noticed even on one of the big Japanese suppliers, it said on there, I think they're Japanese, I can't remember the name of the company now, but it said on there that it was due May the 30th. So May the 30th has been and gone. So but there's 3 available on eBay at the moment. One is from a guy called Appleshay, who is good, but he does tend to advertise stuff he hasn't got. I once bought a McLaren off him that I never saw. I got a refund, absolutely fine, but he never even had stock of it. So be careful there. And there's another 2 on there, which one is like £93 or something, and the other one is 117. But you can get it from Tiger Hobbies for 89 with free delivery. So bear that in mind. The other one from Appleshay is about £76, but you probably will be waiting for it for a little while. Anyway, and then of course you might get customs as well. So let's stop waffling. Let's get to the bench and see what's in this box. And so, as I say, this is something I've been waiting to get my hands on for a long time, and I'm really, really pleased that it's here. So, as we can see on the front of the box, Honda CBR1000RR-R Fireblade SP, no glue required, pre-painted, 1/9 scale 1402 from Magic Factory. Honda trademarks are licensed by Honda. So there we go, and you can see it's a beautiful looking motorcycle. Looking around the box on the side here, we have the scheme that it comes in, if you like. So we have some information here about Magic Factory, who are really, it says your main material is ABS plastic. That's interesting. I'm really growing Magic Factory really growing on me is what I should say. End of the box there, we've got a nice view of the front of the motorcycle, and then the side here we have images which I believe are the actual model. It's yeah, that's not a real motorcycle, that's the actual model, so that's really good. That's how she's going to look when you've built her. Okay, so very, very nice indeed. So you can see here, licensed by Honda, pre-painted model kit, no glue required, all leather grade players friendly kit. The Chinese, they call modelers, the Taiwanese do the same, they call modelers players. So yeah, so all level grade modelers friendly kit. So basically what they're saying is anybody can build it. So we'll see when we get stuck into it. Glossy surface painted by Dust Free Workshop and no spray painting required. Metal front forks included. Perfectly present front fork details. Rear suspensions workable. High quality Honda wing logo stickers presented on both sides, and a magnetic tool pad is included. That should come in handy. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? It says it's for over 14, prohibited for children under 6 years to use. Cement and paint not included. This is not a toy. So it says cement not included, but it says no glue required. So I don't really know what's going on there, but we shall see. Sometimes with these kits they say no glue required, but sometimes us modelers like to glue things, you know, just because. And for those of you who want to say, oh, it's a bloody snap together kit, well, you know, some people say that and then they go and say how mint band they are. So I don't know where they're coming from. So here you can see we've got like a colour call out, and we've got all the colours we need here, even though they're saying everything's pre-painted. This is why I'm thinking that perhaps, the reason I've seen this because I've just opened the other box so you can look at that one, but I've seen these colour call outs, and maybe this is where we want to be painting stuff, or we can just build it out of the box and just snap it all together. And you can see here we've got bits and pieces. That looks like decal call outs, so we've got little decals for our rivets and stuff by the look of it. Yes, it is, because we've got the decal there for the exhaust. Having said that, it's already on there, so interesting. But yeah, we've got the health and safety warning logo there, which you're not going to put on, are you? On the back of the fuel tank, that's called up as a decal as well. So yeah, very, very nice. And then you can see in here the beautiful packaging. You can see nothing's going to get damaged, and we'll have a good close look in a minute. But we can see here the beautiful red and blue, the red, white and blue, should I say, of the Honda colours, and it's all looking really, really nice. I'm not sure if they're decals or if they're printed on, but it could be decals. I may just see an edge on that one. But we've got a photo etch, or looks like photo etch grille there. We've got engine parts, wheels and brakes in there, all looking very nice, all pre-painted. So it looks like the major parts are pre-painted, but underneath here it's probably just going to be black plastic screws, I think. We shall see. I haven't seen any other reviews of this. I've just seen a few bits and pieces. I'm going to put this to one side a second and show you the other one. This is the anniversary. What was it called? The 30th anniversary. So it's probably the 30th anniversary of the CBR1000, is it? So there we go. We got all the decals there for the driver or the rider, and then we got all the decals there for the other side. Okay, so lovely. And again, we've got all those colour call outs. AK, Mr. Colour, and Tamiya, which is really nice when they don't just sell their soul to one company. And then in here you can see it's pretty much the same. I'm just looking, the only difference I can see is obviously the colours, but also these parts here are in a bag, and in this one they're not. There you go, it's as if that makes a difference. You can see we've got a different Akrapovic logo on the exhaust there, and then we've got the white and the blue and everything. You can see there the colours all beautifully done. So yeah, very nice indeed. As I say, that's a quick look at that one. We won't go delving deep into it because obviously they're both the same kit basically. There may be a couple of small differences, and I'm sure you Honda files out there that know this bike intimately will know the differences that are there. So let's start having a look at what we've got in here. So first of all, we have this black tray with a clear lid on it, and we've got cardboard, we've got some decals, we've got stickers there. Those 3D printed vinyl stickers there, very nice indeed. So in here, get the box out of the way, there we go. So in here we have a tray of beautiful parts. So we'll look at these first, and then we'll have a look at the instructions, because this is the big feature of this kit, I believe. All these pre-painted parts, and boy oh boy, they're nice. They really are nice. There's a very high gloss on them. We've got our decals and stuff there, we'll have a look at in a minute. But just looking at these parts, okay, that's ABS plastic. I thought it was going to be metal, but it's ABS plastic. It doesn't really matter, but you can see the paint finish on there is perfect. And the decal application is that what they've done, they've put the decals on and then put a clear coat over the top. You can see there where your Honda is, there's no edge whatsoever. That has been lovingly painted, polished. You can see the overspray on the inside. They've made sure they've got all the edges here, look, but inside here obviously it's just plastic. It looks like it was originally a piece of red plastic. But yeah, very, very nicely done indeed. And then here we've got the, let's have a look at this is the top of the fairing, isn't it? You can see on there again we've got the RR in there, and there's no edge, but you've got beautiful gloss finish. You see there's no step between the white and the blue. It's gorgeous, guys. It is gorgeous. The other nice thing to see is there's no there's no sprue gates. I was expecting to maybe see sprue gates that weren't cleanly cut off, and then you've got to sand them off and ruin the paint finish. But I don't see any of that on here. It looks like there was a sprue gate there, but they've neatly cut it. There's a bit of a seam on the edge of there, but I'm guessing that's not going to matter. But you can see again, that's all beautifully glossy with no step or anything in it. Absolutely stunning. This looks like it's a sort of engine under tray oil cooler thing. Again, that's all pre-painted. I thought it was photo etched, but it's plastic. That's all pre-painted for you. The exhaust looks lovely. Let me grab a cotton bud. Get it out like that. Bit of a seam on the top of the exhaust, but hopefully that won't show. The modelers out there amongst us will probably want to sand that off and repaint it. You've also got the witness of a sprue gate there, but it's literally nothing, and you've got an end cap to go on there anyway. That is very, very nice. As I say, most of you won't worry about that seam at all, but there is a very, very slight seam there, but you know, not to worry about. The wheels look gorgeous. Again, they're plastic, and they have the most amazing gloss finish on them. They are gorgeous. They are absolutely lovely. And then the brakes, come here, cotton bud. The brakes again, they're pre-painted and they're beautifully done. Really, really nice. You're gonna plonk that brake on your wheel. So you can see what it's gonna look like. Just by placing that in there, you can see it's gonna be gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So we are on that one there. The brake has rocked up under the tyre, so I hope there's no damage. There is two little areas of damage on there on the brake disc, but luckily it's on the inside because they've sensibly packed it face down. Hopefully there's no damage on the rim. Certainly can't see anything there. There may be a little tiny mark there, but nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. And as I say, there are people out there that will want to repaint all this anyway. I mean, I don't think you'll be able to repaint all this because you won't have the decals for it. But no, we do have the Aquapovic. I may be saying that wrong, guys. We have the decal for the exhaust. So if you do want to sand out that seam and repaint the exhaust, you can. So there you are. Personally, I'd leave it like it is. And then here we have, what's this? The seat. Yeah, that's the seat. Very nicely done. And then here, I'm guessing these are for the racing stand, the race stand, little wheels for the race stand. So yeah, very, very nice. What's this here? That's part of the fuel injection by the look of it. That's the fuel injectors and the fuel rail. And then we've got the fuel cap in there. There's two bits there that are missing. No, they're not. They're the little locators, aren't they? Yeah, they're the little locators. So very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Really, really impressive. I'll just go around the box so you can have a good close look at it all. You can see how lovely it all is. Very, very nice indeed. There's a beautiful wheels and brakes. Bits for your trolley and then more bodywork. And then just a quick flash across the middle. You can see your exhaust tailpipe and everything there. Very, very nice. It's beautiful, isn't it? Right. So it's good for the lazy modeler. As I say, there are people out there that will want to paint this and everything, and they'd rather have a model that they can decal and paint and everything. Well, I'm absolutely sure the aftermarket will come out with decals for this, so you can repaint it. I'm not sure if there are different schemes for this motorcycle, but for those of you that want to do it your way, you will have the opportunity, I'm sure. I'm going to put those over there in the paint booth out of the way so they don't get damaged. So here we have, in this bag, we have, my knife. Blimey, we've got knife resistant bags. Well, I've got a very blunt knife. So here we have decals. They are the mirrors. Okay, so there's your mirrors to go on your mirrors. Yeah, mirrors for your mirrors, guys. And then here we have these gel type things, and these are your Honda badges. Very nice indeed. I'm not sure if these are water slide. Be very careful. Don't try and just rip them off. You know, make sure you read the instructions thoroughly. And for those of you building the Poker Pagani Utopia, I've been informed by a viewer that the metal transfers in that are indeed water slide. So bear that in mind. So we'll get this bag open as well. Can't understand, it's cutting the board, but it's not cutting the bag. Work that one out. Crazy. There we go. Here's our decal sheet. So we have all our decals here. So you've got those. Does it include those nasty side reflectors that they put on bikes? I think it does. They won't be going on, these side reflectors that they have to put on by law. And then as soon as the bikes, yeah, there they are. Those side reflectors there. And as soon as the owner gets the bike home, he takes them off. For the UK anyway. So here we have. Looks like ignition sort of powered down, and here it is powered up. We have an Aquapovic sticker for our exhaust, and then another couple there. There's some data labels. We've probably got something here for the battery, and then we've got some little tiny stencils for bits and pieces here. We've got Brembo for the brakes. There's your health and safety stickers that you're not going to use. We've got all these to replicate the rivets, the fasteners, Honda, CBR, and more Hondas, HRC. And then we've got the Fireblade or the Honda number plate, which you probably won't put on your bike anyway, because number plates on these sort of things don't look good, do they? A lot of bikers try to have the number plate as small as they can and probably get pulled over by the police every day for it, but they'd rather have a good looking bike and get pulled. So It's unfortunate in the UK our number plates are like that big. They're huge. So to stay legal you have to have this great big yellow thing on the back of your bike, and it's ugly as sin. Whereas places like Italy, they can have a tiny little thing. So anyway, let's have a look in this box, see what we've got in here. Okay, so we have a box of sprues, as I thought, but it does look like we've got some pre-painting going on here. That's certainly pre-painted. So let's go through the box bit by bit. But what I want to do is, first of all, I want to have a look at the instructions. Got some clear parts there, we've got some exhausts. You'll no doubt want to do your tricky painting on the exhaust. We've got fork legs there. They're very nicely painted actually, and very sensibly done with the sprue gates. Look at that. We'll have a look at those in a minute. And there's one there which is painted white. So it does actually look like this little tool tray here. It's interesting. We've got some metal fork legs as well, look, so you have the option of plastic or metal. Yeah, this is nice, isn't it? I don't know if I said earlier, we've got a little screwdriver there as well, Magic Factory screwdriver. It's nice. $89.99 is the retail on this. I think I did mention, didn't I? And as I say, there's a couple on eBay for more than that. So it's due. It must be imminent. I mean, it's been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, this kit. So it'll be nice to see it. I'm going to get rid of this box because it's annoying me, that shadow. Right, now we can put the light on. So we can have a look at the manual. Get rid of those bags as well. So, simple black and white manual, typical Magic Factory style, A4 sort of size. And then we've got pictures on the front. And that's the 30th anniversary, and that's the ordinary one. And here goes the frog in my throat, guys. So we have an addendum here, is this? Okay, yeah, they're correcting the screw. Screw C in the manual has been corrected to screw H in step 26. So bear that in mind, perhaps staple it in your manual. So here we have, what's all this? This is all specifications about the bike. The first Fireblade debuted in 1992, the CB1000RR, designed by Tadao Oboda. The revolutionary concept was to beat Honda's own RFV 750 on track by being the lightest and most compact bike in its class. So we've got all the specification there for the engine, the brake system, wheels and rims, dimensions and capacities, transmissions and suspension, and then this is all. It's all been provided by Honda. Oh no, it says the specs above which provide Honda SP the following features. Okay, I thought it said by Honda. So we've got all the main features of the bike there. Read carefully before assembly. If you haven't built models before, if you want to get one of these because you're a biker, do make sure you familiarise yourself with the manual, because, as I say, I mean, already I've seen in there's metal fork legs and plastic fork legs. You don't want to go building it all up and then realise you haven't used the metal ones and they're in the bottom of the box. So make sure you're familiarising yourself with it all. So here we have the recommended tools. So a little pin vise for drills, tweezers, a little hobby knife. You can see I use scalpels here. And then we've got some side cutters. When they say side cutters, they don't mean like wire cutters. Get yourself some cutters like this. These are the Tamiya cutters. You see they've got a flat face on here, so they go up to get to the part and cut it. When you've got wire cutters, they tend to have a beveled edge on the front face. So there's all sorts of different ones. You can get cheap ones, you'll find them everywhere. Here we've got our icons. So we've got all the different symbols that we need going through the manual. Be very careful with this because different manufacturers use a very, very similar icon and they mean two completely different things. Like, for instance, that Hasegawa Sopwith Cameline building, there's a symbol with glue on it and it's got a line through it, and you think that means don't glue. Nope, it means remove the plating so you can glue it. It's very, very, be careful. Sprue callouts, this is basically showing us all the sprues we've got in the model. They're not bothering to show us the actual parts that are loose in the tray, because here they are on a sprue. So maybe in the future it's going to be like, it's going to come out like this. They're also not showing us the metal legs that I've just seen in the box. So yeah, very interesting. But all of this is pre-painted, so you can just build it out. I will build this one out of the box and not paint anything. There you go, there's a promise for you. So coming over the into the instructions, they're telling you first of all how to do decals. Cut your decal with your hobby knife. Well, that's the first thing wrong. Try to use scissors whenever you can, because the trouble is when you use a knife you raise an edge. It's like when you plough a field, it raises an edge either side and it makes the decal hard to slide off the paper. Always, if you can, use scissors. Soak the decal in water for 1 to 2 minutes. Again, I only ever put mine in for about 10 seconds and then put them out on a blotting pad. Adjust the decal onto the model and get excess water out. The decal is firmly attached to the surface now. Okay, so you'll see me do that when I build it. Here they're talking about sprue gate taps. So what they're doing here, they're really going for the beginner. This is almost like a starter set. And they're telling you here where to cut. Note the sprue tab gates. Cut the plastic part from the runny with hobby pliers. And then you're going to trim the gates carefully. Okay, so obviously Magic Factory have designed this so it can be built by a beginner. So what I will do when I start the build, initially I will talk to you like you're a beginner, and then once we get going we'll just move forward. Okay, so they're talking about trimming and everything. And then here we've got all metal parts from this kit are able to be sorted by using magnetic tool pads with one-to-one illustrations. This tool pad is magnetic. Please do not place this tool pad close to your phone, watch or other electronic equipment which may cause negative effects or malfunctions. So here is the tool pad. Okay, you can see it here, it's a magnetic, and as you can see I can put the screwdriver on there and it stays on there. That is a fantastic little idea, and that's something that we can use going forward, particularly if you've got some metal PE parts, stick them down onto that. Not necessarily cut them on there, but place them on there once you're done. And also if you are building a Tamiya RC kit or something, you've got a load of screws that you've had to get out, have it to one side, put all your screws on there, and then you've got them there and they're not going to get lost. I think that's an absolutely brilliant idea. And on the back it's just got the standard grid sort of thing. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. So here we are building up the engine. Now it's all just clipped together. So it says note the sprue tab gates, which are these things here, trimming them properly. So you're going to cut all them off properly, and then you're going to build up the engine, and it looks like all this clips together. And it looks like what they're doing, you've got these darkened areas here, and they are the locations that are going to hold the parts in. All right. You've got a decal going on there already. Okay, so they're very clear with what you're going to be doing. And you've got this these plug caps, coils, whatever they are, D27x4 going down there. Then we're starting to add exhaust parts, which is very nice. Oh no, it's not exhaust parts, it's coolant parts, sorry. Coolant pipes, and then more pipes for this, that and the other. And then we've got decals going on here for, where's that one going? I'm not sure. L6 is this one. So that's, it's the oil filter. So you've got a decal going on the bottom and a decal going around the side. How thoughtful is that? Thank you, Magic Factory. Okay, that looks like a starter motor to me. And then we've got the inlet manifold going in with the fuel rail and everything on. And then we've got this end cover going on the onto the side of the engine. Now I'm just running that symbol there. Okay, that's the symbol, note the sprue tab gates. So they just keep reminding you. So they're going to obviously affect the fit. But don't worry, we'll do the video. You can watch me step by step. Then we've got the rear shock absorber going together here, looking very, very nice. And there's the pivot for the bottom of it. Another coolant hose there. And then we're going to add the rear shock absorber to the engine, putting a screw through. And then we've got an Öhlins transfer to go on there, onto the shock absorber, onto the remote canister there. And then we're going to start building up the exhaust manifold. Now again here there will be seams that may or may not be seen. I'm guessing they're going to be tucked away behind the fairing and everything. But those that want to actually, scale modelers, they'll want to sand all that and get rid of the seams and deal with all the discoloration on the pipes and everything. Again, we've got more exhaust parts going together here. There's the collector, catalytic converter, whatever it may be, going underneath the engine. And there we are. My neighbour's actually got a Triumph, and he's recently removed all this stuff and put some sort of ECU on there, and his ECU light keeps coming on. So we're starting on the frame here. Oh, this is the rear suspension. Is that okay, that's the swinging arm. Right, okay. So we've got the swinging arm here. We've got some vinyl hoses going in to replicate the brake pipes. and we've got the brake caliper going on there, and that's part of the swinging arm, and then we've got another screw there going in the side. Adding the chain, so we've got to cut the chain so that it can go through the swinging arm, so that's okay. And that looks like it's just one piece of moulded plastic. As I say, there will be aftermarket for this. No doubt somebody will come out with a workable chain for it. I'm guessing on this, when you turn the wheels, the chain will stay stationary. Wheels and brakes and tyres going together, and then that's all going into the swinging arm with this kind of mud flap affair here, or mud guard affair. Then we're going to start building the frame. Put the frame onto the engine, add the swinging arm, add in some screws, add some vinyl hoses for the brakes, and then we're going to build the left side of the frame, and then this is the upper part of the frame. Yeah, this is like the tray that goes in the middle with your electronics and everything in it. And then we're going to slot that into the right side of the frame and with the left side of the frame as well. Okay. Screws going together here, all the pivots for the swinging arm and everything. And then here we've got the master cylinder for the rear brake going in there. All very nicely detailed. And there's going to be a vinyl hose going on there. I can imagine it's the one we left in the last stage. We've also got some vinyl hoses there. Very interesting. And then we've got little patches going in the side to cover up the screws here, by the look of it. Radiator, so that's that big piece we had in the middle of that black plastic tray. We've got more pipes and cables. We're using lots of vinyl tubing on this one. All looking very, very nice. And then we're building up the monitor steering bar assembly. So this is actually the speedometer, LED display, whatever you want to call it, LCD display. That there, I'm not sure what that is. Is that steering lock? Steering damper, that's the steering damper. I can see that now. And then we've got the front wheel with the 2 disc brakes going on there. That's a good point. There was only 1 disc with the front wheel, wasn't there? Where's the other one? Maybe it's the one in the other wheel, and the rear brake is on its own somewhere else. Not sure. Anyway, we will investigate. Now, fender and fork assembly. Choose one. Okay, so we've got the metal ones here and the plastic ones here. Okay, so this is what they're doing here. I've only just noticed this. They're giving you these codes or icons in the top corner of the sequence, and it's telling you that the question mark means choose one. So you've either got the metal ones or you've got the plastic ones. Now, why you would use the plastic ones when you've got a metal option, I do not know, but you've got the metal option there. Whether this metal option is going to be an initial sort of, you know, the first 10,000 kits or something, I don't know, but they've put it in instructions, so it may not be. But we've got metal sleeves going into there, we've got springs, so that's going to be our sort of chrome insert part that's going into the shocks. They're upside down forks, obviously, and then the upper part is going to be metal as well, with the springs in there. Very, very nice. We've got calipers going here. I'm guessing they are pre-decaled because they're not telling us to put decals on them, but we'll see that in a minute. And then we've got our yokes going together there. Lovely. Tubes going on for the brakes and everything. Very, very nice. And that's all screwed together, so it's all going to be nice and strong, and that's going to hold everything together. And then we've got our upper headstock there with the levers and the twist grip and everything going on, all very nice. And we're going to have some hoses to add to all that, and then that's going down onto there. Are we using screws? We've got 1 screw here going into the bottom. Yeah, there we go. We've got a screw going in to hold it all down, and then we've got those caps to go on the top of the fork legs. Little bits of hosing on there, more little bits and pieces of controls, and then more bits of hoses there. And then we're moving on to the headlight. Okay, and then we're going to be adding the inner side fairing. So this is a pretty quick build by the look of it. And then we're on to the front light assembly, fitting that onto there, and then we're going to be fitting the inner side fairing on the other side. We've got a little greebly going there, some sort of electronic box or something. And then we've got more bits and pieces going here. This is our left side foot peg. We've got our side stand there. Got a screw in the side stand. And then there's your bike stood there. Let's stand your moto up, it says here. Then going here, we're building up the fuel tank. Is it a fuel tank or is it a dummy fuel tank? I'm not sure. But we've got a nice internal frame there to build it up onto, so that's all good. And then we're going to snap all those plastic bits together and have a beautiful looking tank, I'm sure. And then coming down here, we've got the... Is that the actual fuel tank? And this is just a dummy, or is that the fuel tank and that's the dummy? I'd imagine because it's lower and more central, that's the fuel tank, and that's not. That's the air cleaner assembly. Read the bloody thing, Nigel. It tells you what it is. And then we've got epoxy resin stickers going on there. D6, that's more side panels going on, and then we've got some muffler box assembly. That's our big, nice big Aquapovic muffler going on. And then we're going to add that onto the motorcycle, and then add the seat and the tail unit, and then we've got the rear seat. So there's, is it a rear seat on this one? Yes, it does have a rear seat. You wouldn't get me on the back of one of these. I don't care who's riding it. So there we go. And then building up the main fairing with the grill over there for the radiator. Got the slats going in there, and then we've got our gear change going in there. And then on the right side we've got the fairing going on, and then we've got this rear light assembly going underneath there. Oh, that's license plate assembly. Block off plate. Okay. And then you've got this unit going in here. Try and work out a way, have a look online, see what people do, but I don't want that license plate sticking out, but for this build I'll put it on there. But I'd probably cut it off afterwards because I don't want license plates on my motorbikes. They look horrible, especially British ones. They're too big. Windscreen assembly. It's there going onto the top of the fairing. Note to park direction and position. And then we've got some mirrors going together. Looking very, very nice. And then I'm guessing actually here. Yes. So these parts here enable you to get rid of the mirrors and not have them. But here you can have the mirrors. Now obviously when the bike is sold, it legally has to have mirrors. But some people will decide to take them off. Of course, for track use only. They wouldn't dare ride their motorcycle on the road without mirrors, would they? But yeah, so you've got blanking plates there, or you can put the mirrors on here. And they're showing it on the box. Here you can see it's got the mirrors. But then on here, you can see it doesn't have them. Okay, so you can choose without or with. And we all know which one looks much better, don't we? There we go. And then there's the let's share your model with your friends, or just stick it on the shelf and start another one. There we go. Right, so don't forget that's your addendum for step 26. So we'll put the instructions to one side. Let's start looking at some bits and pieces. I'm just going to take these sprues out of the bag as they come, and we'll have a good look at the parts. Okay, so this is sprue C, and it's a nice glossy black plastic, so it probably doesn't need any paint, because in real life this is probably glossy black plastic. So that looks like a sort of under tray for something or other. In fact, that might be the airbox. There we go. So that's sprue C. Some of these parts will be difficult for me to identify, guys, but a lot of them won't be. I used to be mad on motorbikes. I've had lots of them. I've currently got a Harley, which most people don't consider to be a motorcycle, but anyway. So here's our Brembo brakes. You can see here, very much like Pocker, there's been a part removed here, and it's in the tray, painted. So there we go. Here, same here. Like you can see, these parts have been removed. They'll be in that tray. So we've got our Brembo brakes there, looking very, very nice. There's the rear and there's the fronts. We've got a steering damper there. So they're all lovely. It looks like this is the outside of the brake caliper. That's the inside. So you're going to put your little decals on there for your Brembo brakes. Very nice. And then here we've got a clear sprue. I'm going to leave this in the bag because if I take it out it might get scratched. But yeah, we've got like a windscreen there. We've got our light parts there, headlights and everything. I'm guessing the indicator lenses will be pre-painted for us. rather than mouldy orange plastic. And then here we have exhaust parts. Again, I don't need to open this one for you to look at bits of plastic, but you can see we've got our exhaust parts. There's that catalytic converter or collector or whatever it is on the bottom. That'll have like a valve in it, I think, or something. It diverts gases. I don't know what it does, but very nice. There's another black sprue. So these are our, this looks like centre of disc brakes here. There's our oil filter there. Some little greeblies here, little bits with pipes on them for vinyl tubing. We've got our handlebar levers there, and then we've got some lovely slide molded parts there. I don't know what they are, but they are beautifully slide molded. No doubt the modelers out there will be wanting to paint all this. So another sprue here. So this looks like our central tray. So this is where all those greeblies are going to go inside, and these are the inner fairing parts, the inner headlight bit, and there's your rear sort of mudguard thing there, and there's those slats that are going to go inside the fairing for cooling air, pull air over the engine, no doubt. Very nice. We have a bag here with some vinyl tubing, very fine, and it looks like it doesn't kink as soon as you try and bend it, so that's cool. Just quickly show you that, what I mean. Those that build bikes and cars with vinyl tubing, some of you will know what I mean. As soon as you put a bend in it, it kinks, but you can see I can bend this, look at that. I can bend this almost back on itself and it doesn't kink, so that's cool. Nice tubing. Nice tubing, and hopefully it'll be a nice tight fit on the pins as well, because it feels like it might be silicone, and the trouble is when you use silicone tubing you can't find anything to bloody stick it. This is very clever. So this sprue has been painted, but they've done some masking for us. So you can see we've got masking. They've masked these off so they stay black, but the actual engine parts are painted silver. And it does look, it looks like it's actually been painted rather than that plating they use. Like on, if you look at that Italeri Stratos I'm doing, that's a handful, that thing. They had that silver plating on it. It was horrible. It was so thick it was puddled on the disc brakes. But you can see this looks very nice. It's very, it's probably bloody LP11 or something they're using, but it's beautifully done. You know, we've got a few seam lines here, so the scale modelers out there may want to get rid of them and repaint. But other than that, you know, if I'll build this out of the box, and if I really enjoy it, then I'll do the other one as a scale modeler would. So you can see both then. They're both basically the same bikes, just different colours. So yeah, very nice. But those engine parts look lovely. Of course, you're not going to see a lot of it. And here we go again. We've got the masking bin done again. Magic Factory are, I'll tell you what, they're going to be knocking on other people's doors if they're not careful, because they're really producing. I mean, they produced a 700th Gerald R. Ford with a hanger deck, and if you buy the Tammy one, you've got to go and buy a hanger deck for it. So, so this is very nice. So this is the rear disc. So those two that are in that packet, in that tray, they are the rear, they are the front ones. So again, you can see we've got these bits here masked off. They're just little hydraulic, little hose connectors, which I would have thought would have been painted silver. But anyway, got some Honda badges there. I'm guessing they are to, you can replace those with those gel badges, I'm not sure. Got some levers there for the rear suspension. There's your rear brake. There's your gear, your gear selector. Here's that chain and wheels. As I say, somebody's going to come out with a aftermarket chain for this. And something else you might want to do, guys, if you are new to the hobby, is get yourself one of these. This is a silver Sharpie. So if you, for example, when you cut this chain off of the sprue, you will have black plastic showing through, and if you want to touch up those little areas where you've cleaned up or sanded or whatever, you can see if I do it on this black plastic here, you can see I can it's a pretty good match. Yeah, so saves you having to bother with painting or stuff if you don't want to. But get yourself one of these, a little silver Sharpie. It's Alex Silver, and you can do your touch-ups with that on all your parts. Sorry about that, guys. Dottie went off on one then. I think somebody dared to walk past the house or something. How dare they? How very, very dare they? But anyway, that's a good little tip that for you. Get yourself a silver Sharpie and touch up your painted parts. I'll probably do that on this myself. It might be a bit of fun actually to see if we can actually build this. Actually build it, as they say, with no paint and no glue. Just a silver marker. I can't believe you're not going to use any glue on anything. We've got some more black plastic parts here. Little bits and pieces. These look like parts of the headlight assembly. A white painted sprue there. That's the that's painted matte white, very nicely done. And that's going to be your water tank, so you could, you know, stain that up with some blue or whatever, make it look like it's got water in it. Here's our front forks, beautifully painted, but again we've got the mould seam down the middle. This is the problem with pre-painted parts, but for people that aren't worried about it, don't worry about it. For people that are, you have to repaint them. But there we go. There's our canister for the rear forks, for the rear shock. So it's all Öhlins. So you'll have nice Öhlins decals to go on it. I'm sure there's Öhlins decals in here. They're going to be there in the white. They'll be under there in the white. So very nice. And then we have metal fork legs. So we've got the metal fork legs and the actual sliders as well. So very nice, beautifully done. Let's have a look at them in fact. So these are anodized aluminium, beautifully turned, nice finish on them. So yeah, why would you use the plastic ones? In fact, I'm going to keep those out because they'll be all right. I'm going to put them back in the box, aren't I? But it'd be unfortunate if they rattled around together and got damaged. But I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine. And then I've got another bag of metal parts here. So we've got our spring. I'll leave that for a minute and we look at that magnetic tool base. Tyres. Funny little sprue in the middle of them, but tyres can make or break them. Like if you've got the old-fashioned type rigid, bloody horrible shiny vinyl things, they're awful. But all of the latest Tamiya stuff and like these are absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, lovely, nice nice finish to them. Go over them with a light sanding sponge, take off that sheen. And they'll look lovely. Or if you just want a factory fresh, brand new looking motorbike, just leave them as they are. Another little gold sprue here. So that's the plastic fork legs. Why would you use them? And then we've got here a large black sprue. So this is our frame and everything. So the frame is painted black on this bike, is it, guys? I would have thought it would have been aluminium. But if they've done it black, it's probably painted black. And they've also got that nice sort of, is it painted this? No, it's moulded like that. They've got this lovely satin black finish to it. So again, scale modelers, they may wish to paint this. And I'm guessing this back here would all be glossy. But, you know, for what you're going to see of it, it really doesn't matter. That lovely side cover there for the engine with the Honda logo on it. Well, the Honda word, not the logo. The logo's like the Goodyear sign, isn't it? There's our yokes for the top of the fork legs. There's the upper yoke. There's the side stand. I'm guessing this is ABS. It should be fairly strong. Yes, it is. It's very rigid. So it's going to be nice and strong for you. Lovely. It's nice, isn't it? It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. But I knew it was going to be lovely because everything I've seen Magic Factory is lovely. I don't think they've produced a bad kit. I really want to get on with that M10 Booker, but I've got other stuff to do. So here we go. There's our fans for our engine. That's a nice looking bit there, isn't it? I think that's the support for the number plate underside. We've got mirrors here. Again, we've got that lovely semi-gloss black finish on them. And you'll also notice what they've done here, which is really nice for us, is those of you that aren't scale modelers won't know what I'm talking about. Just switch off for a minute. They've got the sprue gates on the face. Okay, so rather than have to sand the surface, which in this case is the upper surface of the mirror, and make it obvious, you can just trim that sprue gate off and sand that face, and then when it goes together, you put this part against that part, you won't see anything because there's no sanding to be done on the top face. So that's extremely nice. That's that frame for making the airbox up, or the fuel tank, or whatever it is. There's our seat. So the seat that's in the other box is the pillion seat, I'm guessing. But yeah, very nice. Is that it? Yeah, that's our box empty. What I would suggest, if you are a scale modeler and you want to build this really, really nice, there's, like I said, there's going to be aftermarket galore for it. Then just get your references out and do some checks. I mean, I'm guessing that there would be like a cast aluminium finish. Maybe these fans would be white or yellow or something. Maybe. You know, the twist grips here, you see they're just in this satin plastic. They'd probably be dead flat black, so you might want to put some matte varnish or something on them. But as I say, we'll build this out of the box and see how it looks. And there will be those of you that will be absolutely over the moon with it, and there will be those of you that want to go to town and do some extra work. So, and it's your model, you do it your way. If you want to strip all that paint off and paint it dark green and, you know, put military flags on it or something, then it's your model, you do what you want with it. So this is that lovely little magnetic tray, which, as I say, is such a brilliant idea. So that'll go on there, and as you can see, it stays on there. So what I think the idea is here, you open this bag, you pour these parts out, and then you can, it's nice that they've pre-painted the spring as well, because quite often springs can be difficult to paint. And you can see what they've done there, they've actually painted it on something, and we've got a little, you can see there's a little extra bit of paint in there on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. So we'll just take our knife and just, in fact, I'm going to use a new blade. I won't use this blade. It's obviously, oh, it's very blunt. And we'll cut that excess away. What I always do when I paint springs is, funny enough, I put them on a magnet. Put them on a magnet, paint them, and then when the paint's dry, turn it over, paint it again, and then you get the whole thing covered and you haven't got any areas of contact. But so we're going to put our spring there. So there's our spring. Okay, and then we've got some little springs here. So you're going to put those on your magnetic base like that. Just like so. And then we've got, these are size for size, so there's two of those. There's two of those, so there's those two. And there we go. So there's our magnetic holder holding all the screws in place for you. That's quite nice. They give us an extra couple of screws. Just worth noting, guys, you've got an extra screw over here you can see, and this is because of this addendum here. And what they're saying is these two types of screw are randomly provided in this kit, which could be used normally. I think what they're saying is you're going to have one of either of those. So you can see there is a difference in these. This one is threaded all the way up, it's got a pointed end. This one isn't threaded all the way up, it's got a flat end. So that's your screw H there, and that's printed in the correct size. So there's your screw there. So we'll just put that to one side. And then it says the amount of screw C is corrected to 1 in the latest version. So this screw C here, you can see they made a mistake. They got those screws there a bit out in length. So if that's the only mistake they've made, well done to them. Okay, but I think there's probably been some tweaking because it's been the delivery of this kit has been quite delayed. So the screw C has been corrected to H in the step 26. Okay, in fact, we'll just have a look. Have they corrected it in here yet? 26. No, it says screw C. So screw C is clearly too long. Okay, so there we are. Right, that's that. The only thing that is a bit concerning, screw C has a machine thread. Screw H is like a self-tapping thread. So I'm wondering if it's going into plastic. Let's just have a look while we're here, because it's something you may want to consider. yes, that screw is going into this here, into this upright here, which is plastic, so that's good. Right, lovely, all good, everything's good. Okay, so so there we are. That has been a review of a beautiful brand new kit of the Honda CBR1000RR-R. That sounds like Dotty, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm very impressed, and I hope you like it too. As I say, it will be available very, very shortly at Tiger Hobbies. $89.99 is the retail price, and you'll get free shipping with that as well. So, you know, you can go and get one on eBay now if you want to for 97 or 94, whatever it was. You can order one for 78 and see if it ever turns up, like my McLaren didn't, or just wait for Tiger Hobbies to bring it out. Thank you for watching. Any questions, any comments, observations, whatever, please pop them down below. And I will see you all soon for another review. And we're also going to get cracking on this, because this is... oh, there's a screwdriver as well I forgot to show you. We're going to get cracking on this one because I said I would. And it looks like it's going to be a very fun, very quick build. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.